Picture this, you're knee-deep in black mud, rain runs cold down your neck, iron presses heavy on your shoulders, the Romans march blind through Germania, 3 full legions push forward, nearly 20,000 elite soldiers, armor polished, eagles raised high, they expect tribute, not war. Governor Verus rides beneath soaked banners, a clerk grips a wax tablet. Tax records, he says, all accounted. Thunder rolls across the trees, the road narrows to wagon width, wheels grind into ruts, a centurion spits rainwater. Close ranks, he orders, shields scrape bark, the column stretches for miles. Baggage carts clog the corridor, families trail behind, a scout rushes back. Arminius knows the route, he pants. Verus nods once. They trust him, he was raised in Rome, an ally, so they think. A horn shrieks from the ridgeline, then another answers. Shapes move between trunks, javelins fall without warning. One punches through a neck guard, another shatters a jaw. The formation buckles. Testudo, a centurion roars, men struggle to lock shields. The ground tilts and sinks, heavy mail drags them down, black mud, heavy iron, panic. An eagle bearer slips. The imperial standard tilts sideways, it vanishes into brown water. Legion 17 is breaking. A voice cracks in terror. Hold the line, arrows hiss through wet air. Boots stick fast. Screams echo off oak trunks. This is no open battlefield. It is a forest corridor, barely wide for wagons. 3 days of slaughter begin here, in 9C. 15 to 20,000 Romans will not return. The tribes melt back into trees. The legions bleed in place. Augustus rules at the height of power. Frontiers stretch from Spain to Syria. The Rhine feels temporary. Germania lies beyond that river. Dense forest, scattered tribes, unfinished business on imperial maps. Expansion east began under Augustus. Roads cut through marshland. Forts rise along quiet rivers. Governor Publius Quintilius Verus commands the region. He serves there from 7 to 9C. A statesman more than a field general. He studies reports inside a timber headquarters. Wax tablets list grain levies. Names of chieftains follow. A junior officer clears his throat. Unrest in the hills, he says. Small gatherings only. Verus barely looks up. Collect the taxes, he replies. Rome requires order. Legionaries stand guard outside. Veterans of long campaigns, scarred, methodical, certain. Engineers measure ground for new roads. Surveyors plant markers in mud. Another province taking shape. A centurion checks his men, armor clean. Formation tight, he mutters. We're keeping peace. Behind them, tax collectors ride mules. Clerks protect chests of coin. Law follows the sword. Germania is not treated as hostile. It is treated as late to accept inevitability. Reports mention tension between tribes. Nothing united, nothing decisive. Fragmented resistance seems manageable. Verus believes authority will settle it. Courts replace tribal councils. Roman law replaces custom. He does not prepare for siege. He does not expect pitched battle. He expects submission. The legions drill in open clearings. Standards shine in weak sunlight. Confidence hangs thick in camp. No one imagines disaster. No one studies the forest as enemy. This is administration in armor. Order enforced with routine marches. Complacency grows quietly, and the trees wait. Germania offers no open horizon, only woodland, marsh, tight ridges. September rain falls without mercy. Paths dissolve into sucking mud. Wagon wheels sink to their hubs. The legions cannot deploy wide. No clean battle lines form. They stretch into a metal serpent. Helmets bob between dark trunks. Standards sway above dripping leaves. Visibility shrinks to mere meters. Keep contact. A centurion shouts. His voice dies in wet air. Signals fail between cohorts. Mail and iron drag downward. Lorica segmentata plates clog with filth. Scutum shields grow slick and heavy. Boots rip free with effort. Each step costs breath. Discipline strains under weight. The column approaches Calcrisi. A wooded hill rises to one side. Swampy lowlands press the other. The corridor tightens further. Barely room for wagons, no space for cavalry charge. An officer studies the ground. Too narrow, he mutters. Push through. Earthworks hide behind tree lines. Low walls packed with sand, invisible from the track. The men cannot see them. They only feel compression. Shields bump without locking. Testudo becomes impossible here. Angles break. Gaps widen. Cohorts lose clean alignment. Hooves slip in marsh grass. Riders curse and pull reins. Horses refuse the bog. The forest swallows small sounds. Armor clinks softly. Rain masks distant movement. Then silence deepens. Birds vanish from branches. Wind stalls in the canopy. The terrain dictates every step. It chooses pace and posture. Rome obeys without realizing. They are not entering open battle. They are entering design. Calcarees becomes a funnel. Wood and swamp form its jaws. Nature strikes first. Steel grows useless in mire. The legions march forward anyway. Arminius moves easily through Roman camp. Armor fits him like memory. Latin commands roll off his tongue. He once served in auxiliary ranks. Rome trained him in discipline. Rome granted him citizenship. He learned their marching order. Advance guard. Main column. Baggage train. Predictable as sunrise. He studied camp routines. Ditches dug at dusk. Watches changed on schedule. Varus trusts him without question. Your people grow restless? Varus asks. Minor disputes, Arminius replies calmly. To Rome, he is loyal. To the tribes, he is proof. Proof that Rome can bleed. Behind closed woodland councils, he speaks differently. Torches flicker against bark. Faces watch in silence. The legions stretch thin, he says. They cannot form in marsh. Murmurs ripple outward. Suresco warriors nod first. Allied tribes follow their lead. Old rivalries pause. This is not raiding season. This is extermination. No prisoners. No retreat. False reports travel back to Varus. Rebellion in distant hills. Urgent. Contained. Arminius suggests a shortcut. A safer route, he insists. Through higher ground, Varus accepts the advice. He sees cooperation, not conspiracy. Confidence blinds him. Meanwhile, earthworks rise quietly. Sand walls packed between trees, hidden behind brush. Warriors take position along ridgelines, spears stacked in silence, shields wrapped to dull shine. Messengers run through rain. Timing depends on weather. Mud will slow heavy armor. Arminius walks both worlds still. Roman officers clasp his forearm. Tribal leaders grip his wrist. He understands their doctrine completely. He understands their pride more. The trap requires patience. Every cohort must enter the funnel. Rome believes it commands Germania. Germania prepares to close its fist. The Roman column stretches for miles. Legionaries march beside cavalry. Civilians huddle near wagons. Rain thickens into sheets. Shields turn slick in hand. Cloaks cling to shoulders. Scouts return at intervals. Minor movement in trees, one reports. Nothing formed, says another. Varus studies the dark canopy. We push on, he decides. Speed over delay. Normally, camps rise before dusk. Ditches carved. Stakes planted. A fortified square each night. Tonight, no camp is built. No perimeter marked in earth. The column keeps moving. The track narrows again. Wagons grind against roots. Cavalry drifts out of alignment. A centurion frowns at the sky. We should entrench, he mutters. No order comes. Then the forest answers. A sharp whistle splits rain. Missiles fall from above. Spears crash into shields, throwing javelins, framerite, punch through gaps. Men drop without seeing attackers, form up. An officer shouts. His cohort cannot hear him. Sound dies between trees. The column fractures instantly. Front ranks halt in confusion. Rear units keep pressing forward. Cavalry tries to wheel outward. Horses slam into marsh ground. Riders lose formation. Another volley arcs down. Iron tips flash briefly. Blood darkens wet soil. Tribunes attempt to rally lines. They cannot reach adjacent units. Terrain isolates every command. A standard wavers sideways. Its bearer falls hard. Mud swallows the staff. Roman discipline strains visibly. Order depends on structure. Structure dissolves here. They entered hostile ground extended. Flanks unsecured. Baggage exposed. The system falters under pressure. The forest manufactures chaos. Varus looks for cohesion. He finds only rain and screaming trees. The attack does not fade with sunset. It stretches into another day, then another. Nearly 3 days of violence. Rain without pause, mud without mercy. Roman units attempt to break out. Toward the Rhine, an officer urges, reach open ground. They push westward in fragments. Barricades block the narrow track. Fresh earth packed between trees. Axes hack at timber walls. Javelins answer from above. Warriors strike, then disappear. Cohorts try forming circles. Shields overlap in wet confusion. Lines wobble under pressure. Bowstrings sag in constant rain. Arrows fall short. Quivers empty quickly. Night brings no shelter. Makeshift camps rise in darkness. No proper ditches, no stakes. Horses scream at unseen shapes. Tethers snap in panic. Hooves crush the wounded. A centurion grips his gladius. We hold till dawn, he says. Dawn brings more horns. Germanic fighters reappear elsewhere. Different ridge, different angle. Always higher ground. Supplies dwindle fast. Bread turns to paste. Water fouled by mud. Wounded men attempt retreat. Some stumble into marshland. Armor drags them under. Standards grow fewer each hour. Commanders lose contact entirely. Signals never reach flanks. Another push toward the Rhine fails. The corridor tightens at Kalkrisi. Hill to one side, bog to the other. Engineering skills offer nothing. No time to construct ramparts. No space to deploy lines. Formation discipline collapses slowly. Exhaustion hollows steady ranks. Helmets hang low over eyes. This is no swift clash, it is erosion. Measured and relentless, every Roman strength inverts here. Armor becomes burden. Order becomes obstruction. The legions shrink by the hour. Rain keeps falling. The third day dawns without hope. Rain falls lighter now. The damage is done. Roman resistance thins visibly. Officers lie among their men. Commands fade into hoarse whispers. A centurion tries one last rally. Form on me, he shouts. Few can stand. Germanic warriors mass on the ridge. They surge downhill in waves. Earthworks behind them. Legionaries are pinned below. Swamp to the left. Embankment to the right. No room to maneuver. No room to breathe. Only impact. Axes crash against helmets. Spears thrust at exposed joints. Combat turns intimate and brutal. Scutum shields slip from numb hands. Lorica plates clog with mud. Armor drags bodies downward. An eagle-bearer staggers backward. The Aquila tilts in the rain. A warrior tears it free. Another standard falls nearby. Then a third disappears. All 3 legionary eagles taken. A tribune reaches Varus. Governor, we are surrounded. Varus grips his sword tightly. Blood stains his side. Capture would mean spectacle, chains, mockery. Rome shamed, he looks once at the field. Broken cohorts everywhere. No path to the Rhine. Varus turns the blade inward. He falls by his own hand. His attendants follow. Word spreads in fragments. Varus is dead, faces empty of resolve. The final formations collapse. Men throw down shields. Others fight until overwhelmed. Germanic warriors press close. Short blades, heavy axes, no mercy offered. The forest absorbs the screams. Then, even those diminish. Only rain on leaves remains. Bodies carpet the narrow corridor. Iron twisted in mud. Helmets half submerged. Rome's certainty dies here. 3 legions erased. Invincibility shattered beneath trees. Weeks later, Roman patrols return. They move cautiously beneath silent branches. No drums, no banners. What they find is ruin. Bones nailed to oak trunks. Skulls whitening in open air. Rust eats abandoned helmets. Shields rot in marsh grass. No burial rites given. A veteran covers his mouth. 3 legions, he whispers. Gone without trace. The ground still bears scars. Broken pilajut. From soil. Fragments of Lorica lie scattered. News travels south to Rome. Messengers ride without pause. Faces grim with dread. Emperor Augustus hears the report. Witnesses describe public mourning. He tears at his garments. Varus, give me back my legions. He repeats again and again. The palace falls silent. This is not a minor setback. It is humiliation at scale. 15 to 20,000 lost. The Rhine hardens into frontier. Expansion into Germania halts. Ambition cools beyond the river. Legions V6 vanish. Their numbers permanently retired, never raised again. Recruit rolls skip those titles. Standards are not replaced. Memory replaces metal. Rome conquered Gaul with precision. Egypt fell before its order. The Mediterranean bent to fleets. Yet a forest imposed limits. Terrain, deception, tribal unity, enough to halt an empire. The psychological wound cuts deeper. Veterans speak in lowered tones. Teutoburg becomes a warning. Generals study maps differently now. Marsh and ridge gain meaning. Confidence meets caution. The forest keeps its dead. Rain washes iron clean.